Taliban, in one of its latest decree, has asked that women education will not be allowed at university level. This is coming at a time when just few days ago women were allowed to sit for a university entrance test that had given them hope that their education will continue, because Taliban, ever since they have taken over Afghanistan, have not been very cooperative and very open about girls' child education. In fact, secondary education of girls were also banned in the recent days, which was being criticized all across the globe. But those girls who were enrolled in colleges, they were allowed to have some sort of classes where segregation based on the gender were made, and they were allowed to be taught by only women lecturers or women teachers, or an elderly men or professor of senior age. So, with such restriction, the education scenario was still open for girls. But the latest order coming from Taliban has totally put a blanket ban on university education of girls in Afghanistan until further orders. And this is coming at a time when world was trying to bring all the part of conservative or fundamentalist section of Taliban rule at a point when it can create an inclusive society, because ultimately world and various leaders have expressed their opinion that Taliban are in power in Afghanistan, and they needs to create a space where more inclusive society in Afghanistan can take place, and probably this will also give them legitimacy at world stage. But with this order or this decision, the Taliban itself has given a big blow to getting legitimized at international forum, because now United Nations has condemned this decision, and United Nations Secretary General's spokesperson Stephen Jarek has said that Taliban has broken their earlier promise. USA has condemned this decision. Britain has condemned this decision. United Nations Security Council President Ruchira Kambos has also said that this is something that is not going to help Afghanistan create an inclusive society, because as long as discrimination will remain on the ground, or the 50% of population of Afghanistan will not be allowed to participate in social sphere or education, or they were not allowed to be treated equally in the society, Taliban's regime will not be getting a legitimate stature at the world stage. Initially, earlier also, Taliban has stopped women from going to gyms, public park, or public spaces. In fact, in several areas, the women cannot venture out without having a male of their family accompanying them. So restrictive measures have already been there, because Taliban practices one of the most strictest law based on Islamic law, that Taliban claims that this is how they want to operate based on the law of Sharia. So the conservative part of Taliban remains very stringent, and this is also very tight slap on those liberal or sympathizers of Taliban, who at the time when Taliban was taking over Kabul were propagating or trying to support Taliban by saying that let them give a chance, because maybe they have changed, maybe they will have more modern views. They're very much rooted in their concept of society in a medieval era, and something that the modern world has started believing in, they just don't believe in. In fact, they condemn that, and this is why they don't allow foreign education or foreign funded education also even to operate in Afghanistan. So in the last few months, ever since Taliban has taken over, there has been a lot of poverty situation in Afghanistan. Most of its economy is being run by aids and assistances coming from foreign or agencies abroad. And with such decisions, these agencies or these humanitarian assistance will also become a major roadblock, because some countries will try to bargain from Afghanistan's current regime that if they are not trying to make it a very inclusive society, if they are not being very non-discriminatory in nature for all the section of society, then probably their assistance or their aid to their regime will also not be as easily available. So this whole concept of Taliban's very strict and repressive, regressive rulings against women has been widely condemned across from the leaders from across the globe, and we'll have to see how Taliban still tries to make a face at an international platform, and still tries to stand on all the promises that it has made in the past about inclusive society and having a representation from all sections of society, being non-discriminatory and allowing women an equal space in the society.